Welcome back to the No Agenda Football Podcast. You guys know already we contradict the title here. Everyone's got agendas. Everyone's got agendas, but do you have substance, logic, a good train of thought to your arguments? I'm joined by Jimmy. Cass will be here soon. Johnny will be here soon as well. We're going to delve straight into the topics. I can see Jimmy in the background, but I still can't see his camera. So we'll just wait for a second for his camera. Ah, there he is. There's his camera. All right, so we'll add Jimmy to the stream. Sorry, Johnny to the stream. You ready to go, Johnny? After your little 12-hour marathon on Twitter Spaces?
Yeah,
That's a marathon, isn't it?
that was a marathon, that
That
one.
that is a marathon, bro.
You
That's
know
a
what I mean,
long
though,
time.
mate? When I do it space, I do it right.
No, but I jumped in. I jumped in early on just to listen. It was quite a heated space.
Well, this ain't going to be heated, and I'll tell you why. Pochettino to Tottenham is breaking news. I've just seen Fab, Ornstein, everyone else is covering it. It's going to happen, basically. And I'll be honest with you, this don't worry me at all. Pochettino to Spurs doesn't worry. Sorry, to Chelsea doesn't worry me. Doesn't concern me one bit. I don't think he's better than Klopp. At this point, okay, he's got more experience than Arteta, but the football Arsenal are playing and where they are, I don't see how Chelsea eclipse Arsenal from a footballing point of view where their project is at the moment. He's not better than Pep, and they've got so many players, a lot of flops, but they're Chelsea, so nobody says anything. If they were Man United players, you'd hear about it non-stop. So yeah, I'm gonna go to you first, Jimmy. I'm not stressed about that appointment. Are you stressed? Does that worry you? Where we are as Man United fans, Eric Ten Hag, year one. You hear about Poch coming to Chelsea. Does that worry you at all?
I, I I'm I'm not sure yet. You know, I'm not sure yet because the only worry I have about it is I know that he's going to get those players playing much better than they're playing at the moment. That's my only worry. The problem is that he's got is I don't think that group of players are a team at all. So because I mean, as bad as Manchester United were when Ten Hag was coming in, there was an element of a team there. There was a kind of team within that squad, even though it was divided. We were quite a team, and I don't see anything like that with Chelsea. So I worry if he does get them best out of the really good players that they've got, that would be a worry. But overall, I'm not worried, I think, because I just don't see that that team will click in that way anytime soon. So it means that he'll be looking at having to readjust the squad, maybe get rid of some players, bring some players in. And I think that would take time. I don't think his impact is going to be as quick as Ten Hag's impact. I just don't think he's as aggressive a tactician as Ten Hag is. So I'm not that worried. I think I will worry if it looks like he's got them listening early enough. But at the moment, I don't think I'm that worried.
What's your thoughts on it, Johnny?
I don't think worry is the correct word. Weary. I'm weary of it. I'm I'm sort of looking from afar, like, prick my ears up a little bit. I'm not worried like it's imminent danger, but I do think people underestimate Pochettino. I think he's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
I think he's got a point to prove, Daniel. And there's nothing worse than somebody in any walk of life with a chip on the shoulder that's got a point to prove. I had a point to prove. One second. No, I know it's not the same thing, but I had a point to prove when I joined army. Everyone told me I'd fail it. Everyone told me I don't get past basic training. 10 years later, I was a full corporal. And what gave me that determination and incentive to be as good as I was people doubting me and saying I couldn't do it. So obviously, I know it's not football, but I feel like I'm always weary of people that I've got a point to prove. Obviously, it didn't work out for him at PSG, but I think that's job's cursed, and I think that's a poison chalice. So he's got money to spend at Chelsea. Excuse me. So I'm aware of it. But I'm not going to dismiss it like he's not a threat at all. I think he again. When he was at Spurs, they played fantastic attacking football. Okay, Didn't get him over the line. I understand that. That's where he's got something to prove. But will he get Chelsea playing much better football? Yes. Can he command a dressing room? Yes. Will he get money at Chelsea? Yes. So I think it'll be. I think it's interesting for the Premier League. I think it's another. Look, I always welcome attacking managers in Premier League. It's another. When you're neutral, it's a good game to watch. So yeah, I am. I'm weary of him.
Are you worried because you wanted him to be the Man United manager?
Nah, man, that's not it. That's not it.
I mean, because it's interesting.
I did want him. No, sorry, I'll rephrase that. When it was
you wanted him, Johnny. You wanted him bad.
You wanted
no.
You wanted Potter, and you wanted Poch at Man United.
So let me explain that, right? Let me explain that. At the height of Ollie's toxicity reign, I would have took Bugs Bunny. I mean, I really would have took anyone. I would have took Conte, and we all know I don't like Conte as a manager. I think he plays disgusting football. But at that point, I would have taken any manager. Obviously, I'm not so emotionally drained now, and I don't have to look at it from a completely illogical perspective. When it was getting more noisy between Pochettino and Ten Hag, I'll be honest, I didn't prefer any of them. I'd have took any of them. I would have took any of them. Didn't have a problem with either of them. I don't think.
I'd say to Chelsea fans, Johnny wanted Conte, he wanted Potter, and he wanted Poch. So yeah. I think you know how that's gonna go.
But you know what, Daniel? Can I just add
go ahead.
Another quick point on it, because for me this is the other little concern is I feel like Pochettino came very, very close to great success with that team that he had. I think he came very, very close. So when I take that into account, the team he's got at Chelsea is miles better than that team. So what the Chelsea team that he's got, I'm talking about on paper, just in terms of the profile of the players.
Right, let's be clear.
Spurs had a good team.
You're saying the Chelsea team now is much better than
on paper. I would say so. Yeah.
But why has no one corrected me on my horrible on my bad title? Because he's going to Chelsea. He's not going to Tottenham.
Oh my God!
I didn't even caught that.
No, but you know what, Pochettino. Do you know why it is? Pochettino next to Tottenham just looks natural, innit? It just sounds better. Do you know what I mean? It looks normal. But yeah, I think in terms of on paper, you look at the cost of the players and what they are in terms of their status as players. Mm-hmm. This team, you would say, is technically a better team than that team that he has.
As we know, Jimmy, cost of play doesn't equate to quality.
No, I know that. I know that. But I'm saying if he could get that out of that team, I think he could probably get quite a lot out of this team that he's going to inherit at Chelsea. So I'm not worried, but there is a little like, oh, okay, what if he did? What if
not just that, Jimmy? Look at the position he's picking him up from. Like the only way is up. Like it's a win-win for him in that scenario. There's no way he's going to take him down to the Championship. So from his starting point, I think he's got a great starting point. Look at what they've done this season. Football's been terrible.
It's not a great starting point. I'll tell you why it's not great. No, it's not, because think about it. Ted Bowley. If he had problems with Levy, so I find it difficult to believe he's not going to have any issues with Ted Bowley the way he's been operating.
Todd.
Sorry, Todd Bowley.
I keep calling him Ted as well, Daniel. I keep doing that.
He's behaving like Ted Lasso.
He's behaving like a Ted, and he's behaving like a Ted.
Behaving like a Ted. On top of that, that Tottenham spine was pretty good. Vertonghen and Alderweireld were in their prime. Son and Kane were in their mid-20s, and then you had Dembele, Wanyama, and you had Christian Eriksen. And
that midfield was good. That was
and at that time, he's always had errors in his game, but he was way better than he is now. So that Tottenham spine was settled. It was pretty good, and obviously they had a good succession of fullbacks from Kyle Walker to Trippier, which Chelsea can match, to be fair, because they got Gusto coming and already got Reece James. But that Tottenham team was way more settled. At Chelsea, he's got big contracts, loads of players who are new to the league. So you've got 6, 7, 8, 9 players who have to adapt. They've got Nkunku coming. They've got another deal. They've got Gusto coming. They're gonna sign a striker probably have to get a goalkeeper. That's a difficult job. He has to hit the ground running, in my opinion. So I don't think
he can't. It's a bigger job. He can.
Chelsea's ambition is a concern. The fact they're so proactive signing players is a concern. Although I think FFP is going to catch up with them at some point. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. For me, this isn't going to work out for Chelsea, and it's ain't going to work out for Chelsea and Pochettino in the long term, in my opinion. overall, yeah, just not concerned. Not concerned. We're going to move on to Man United signing Harry Kane. It was reported earlier today by the Telegraph. Matt Law, if you know Matt Law, he's pretty reliable when it comes to Chelsea and Tottenham. Those are the two football clubs that he covers. And he's saying Man United are doing the due diligence with the view to basically saying, look, what's the price and how quickly can we get this deal done? So what's your sort of immediate thoughts when you hear that, Jimmy?
I think I genuinely believe that we've started actively actually pursuing Harry Kane. I think because there is an element of trying to get the deal done early. I think from what I'm hearing, so the reports I'm hearing is that Manchester United would like to get the deal done, possibly an agreement in principle before the end of the season, and finalize the deal when the transfer window opens. So there seems to be reports coming out suggesting that's what Man United are trying to do. I would love them to do that because I think it would be good to get the news, to get the confirmation early, so Ten Hag can start to picture Harry Kane in the team, because I think that will help determine what players he allows to leave the club and what players he wants to stay. So if we can get the confirmation early, I think Ten Hag will start to look at the team with Harry Kane in mind, and that might affect some of the decisions he makes in terms of what the squad looks like when the transfer window opens. So I would like it to happen early if possible. And I'm all for it. I've said this since forever. You know, Harry Kane for me makes every single person around him play just 10, 15, 20% better. And I think that will be very, very visible and noticeable when he comes into the team. I think he will make everyone better, and it will be a very, very noticeable difference.
I agree with that. Like, I think he's the perfect striker for Ten Hag. I think more from a recruitment point of view, though, like, you don't want to be wasting the entire summer trying to get that deal done, dealing with Daniel Levy. So hearing that the football club are aware of that, want to avoid that happening. So they're like, look, just what's the price? Cool. If that's the price, let's not muck around. We don't want this to drag all summer. Let's get this done. I think it's a good approach from the football club. Cass, going to throw you in right at the deep end. Reports that we're doing our due diligence on getting Harry Kane, what it will cost. We don't want it to drag, blah, blah, blah. I think what I would ask you as well, Cass, is this. Now that Pochettino looks like he's going to Chelsea, do you think that hurts Man United's chances of signing Harry Kane?
I don't think Daniel Levy's stubborn. He's definitely not signing to Chelsea. Not in my opinion. I think it don't matter what happens. It's that whole guy across the pond. He's too stubborn for that situation. I think if he could rather send him up north, then he will. And I think the project's pretty more exciting than Chelsea's, if we're being totally honest, as well. But Harry Kane will be thinking of London. But I don't think Daniel Levy will sell to Chelsea. With us, I think we just need the thing is with Chelsea, they do get business done quite quick regardless. But apparently we're putting in groundwork from a while back, and especially now, according to Matt Law as well. I'd say give it June. If he doesn't, all right. If a deal isn't agreed in June for him to come, blow it out the window, because you know he's gonna Levy will run it to the end of the window. That's what I'm more afraid of.
You say that Levy wouldn't sell, right? But Bowley clearly he'll pay whatever. So if he comes with the right amount of money,
yeah. But you got to remember one thing with Chelsea, they have to remember Levy don't like installments, especially as well. They're going to need money, especially after this whole. Apparently, those Tottenham people are not. They're trying to sell their tickets, their season ticket, not renewing all that kind of stuff. I think he's going to want a lot of upfront money, and at the moment, if you know anything about Chelsea, they can't afford to be throwing so much money now because of FFP stuff like this. They owe a lot of money. They got to focus on getting sales through before they do any buys. And I think even Chelsea fans, they got to sell before they buy anyone with a massive price tag. So my question is, can we get this through the eyes of Chelsea? Because I think what we got that Chelsea don't is another thing potentially is obviously a coach that has won trophies right now, you know, and another thing is that we're going to be in the Champions League. Harry Kane is 30 years old, going on to 31 or he's going to turn 30 years old, sorry. So on that note, it's just like he's going to want to play Champions League football. He's going to want to be at a club that is probably going to compete for the title. He's going to be the main guy. You know, there's no one knows if Chelsea's going to compete for the title next season. Well, as the way it looks right now, no matter who they bring in, they got all still gelled together. Still got to go under a new manager. Still got to learn a new system. Poch has never won a major trophy. Well, I think he won the league earning it, right? I think. But
Which
other
no
than that,
one
I think Man United's project is more of a sellable asset, if anything, like to the mind. So that's what I'd be looking at. He ain't got many years left in the game. He knows it, and I think Man United would be the place for him, to be honest. And it's the player that we actually need. I'll be so honest. Like, if Anthony keeps doing what he's doing, Rashford keeps doing what he's doing, Garnacho's very quick off the ball as well. You know, I think when Bruno Fernandes would thrive off Kane, you know, as well. I think we got the players to suit him a lot. And what we really desperately need is it's just a goal scorer, bro. When it matters, just put it in the back of the net. And then there's always questions with can Kane do it in big moments, mate? When he comes to Eriksen came to Man United, won a trophy, mate. So when he comes, I'm pretty sure we're gonna smother him with people with mentality and all that kind of stuff. Ten Hag, clearly, look what he's done. If you can't think that a manager can't change a player's mindset, then you're totally wrong. Especially even at his age. Look at Weghorst, man. That guy's sniffing that FA Cup trophy. No good. Don't get me wrong. He's bang average, but look at him, man. He's still there with a trophy under his name.
The whole Harry Kane, like, at the end of the day, he's trying to win trophies with Tottenham. The way people hold it against him is ridiculous.
I'd only pay up to 80 million max. That'd be my price personally.
He turns up against City. He turns up against Liverpool. He turns up against Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea included. So he's a big game player in that context. Johnny, what's your thoughts on Man United doing the background work for Harry Kane early, so we avoid a little saga? And in the event that we do pursue Harry Kane, how does that affect Martial, in your opinion? Should we keep him?
So first of all, it's nice to know that if reports are true, it's nice to know that Man United are doing the due diligence. I mean, we're not as United fans, we're not used to that. So the fact that that's being reported is good. It's a good sign. At least you can find out early whether Daniel Levy is going to pull our pants down, for a better phrase, or not. If he's giving you a ballpark figure that's way out of our ballpark, then just don't waste your time on it. Move on to the next target. If he's giving you something that you can work with, then fair enough, you pursue it a little bit and see if you can come to a common understanding. So I would like the Kane deal to get done. Again, I don't think there's valid questions on his mentality, but when you bring him into the team, you're immediately, and this is being conservative, you're immediately injecting 20 goals into the team. That's being conservative.
Would you not go all out for him, Johnny? Would you not go?
No. So this is my thing, right?
All out to get him?
So I'll answer the Martial question first, and I'll come back to yours, Jimmy. All right? The Martial question. No one's taking Martial on his wages. No one's taking Martial because he's not done enough this season to put himself in the shop window, if you will, for any potential suitors. Right? That's how I look at it. So the best case scenario for me is he's a rotation player for Harry Kane or for Rashford or Sancho, or whatever. And because he's a rotation player. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully to Martial, but we know we can't rely on his availability. Because he's a rotation player, he gets a bit more time off to condition his body and to look after himself. So when he does come on, hopefully he's primed and ready. So that's the Martial question. And to come back to your question, Jimmy, if, for example, our budget is 150 million, which it was last year, but we got an increase, I think it ended up being 200 million. But let's just say it's 200 million, right? Let's just say we're getting the 200 million. Even in his last year of the contract, I still think Daniel Levy is gonna put something around the 100 million mark, if probably a bit more, because Kane's his LeBron James, isn't it? Like, he's not gonna let his LeBron James go for cheap, just not. Like,
I don't know about that, Johnny. Because this is the first time Levy's pretty much been put into a position where he doesn't have all the bargaining chips.
Yeah. But another thing, you have to remember, in the situation right now that Spurs are in. I think from a Spurs fans perspective, it'd be a catastrophe letting Kane go in their current situation, because you're losing all them goals. I feel like if Spurs fans were honest with themselves, given what Harry Kane's given to Spurs or to Tottenham, I think he deserves his move. So I think it's about Daniel Levy realising Harry Kane's done enough for his club. He's earned a move away, and all right, still wanting a good deal for his club. I understand that, but not try to, don't try and take the piss. Like, be reasonable with it. But yeah,
I don't
think
know if Tottenham can afford to do that though. Think about what we've seen online, Johnny, especially yesterday. Fans are outraged. They know the player's not good enough. They know everything. Daniel Levy has never been put in this situation for a top player. Bale got rid of with years and got the price. He did Modric as well. All these good players throughout the years, it's happened. They're sold. But look at Berbatov right to the end, but he still had years on his contract. This is 1 year left for his prize asset. They need money so they can invest in the squad, and he probably knows that. Otherwise, the fan base is gonna grow and continue to be toxic, and he knows it.
but Kaz, just imagine, just hypothetically thinking, Spurs fans wake up tomorrow morning, Kane to United done. They're gonna have a hissy fit. They're gonna have
yeah.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
No, you know what it is. I think it's a good thing for them in the long term. I'm gonna be blunt.
What, to survive without Kane?
No, it's more so that run under Poch has put them in a conversation that he shouldn't really been in.
Shouldn't be in. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
You're not how many trophies have you won in the last 10 years? Just this whole qualifying for top 4 thing is one of the biggest myths. It don't mean you're a big football club.
No.
The biggest clubs and the best clubs win trophies and then go on to do bigger and better things. You've had Harry Kane for 7 years. You've done nothing with him, right? So once they lose him and they reset, they should be going back to what I remember Tottenham being a team with a good cup run that played attractive football, or maybe go for a Nagelsmann and know you're aiming to catch out a City when Pep leaves. And do you see what I'm saying to you? Because if Harry Kane's there, the conversation about winning now is going to be at Tottenham, and they're not ready for that. Like, Levy's not going to invest in the team in a manner that's going to result in them winning anytime soon. So I think actually for the football club, it changed the conversation to the right one for them, whether they like it or not. Sometimes you need something to happen, whether you want it to or not, because that's actually what makes sense for you.
But Levy has these. Sometimes he's just a dickhead, isn't he? Sometimes it's just like he does things almost just to prove a point, and I hope it doesn't do that with Harry Kane at this time, because I do think Harry Kane is ready to leave for Manchester United. I really do. I'm convinced that he's.
Oh, after that 6-1, 5-0 in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's tipped him, and I think he is ready. I think he's thinking, look, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. I am gonna have to go somewhere else, and I would rather go to a place where I can see the managers doing things with the team, and I think he'd be happy to come to Manchester United. So I hope Levy doesn't have those moments.
After that game yesterday, I mean, if you're Harry Kane, you're probably thinking, I can't do any more here. I've given my best. I can't drag this team any further forward.
He's given everything to you. Yeah,
and not just that. How old is Harry Kane now? Is he 28, 29? Or is he even 30?
29 turning 30 in June.
Right. So from a career standpoint, he's got to make this. He's got to make the right decision here, because if he wants to win anything, he has to, man. Like, I almost feel that yesterday was a blessing in disguise for us.
What the
especially come Thursday. If we put one goal pot, it don't matter if they got rid of their manager. It's still Ryan Mason, still new backroom staff and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You put one goal past Tottenham, their heads are gonna drop. Harry Kane's gonna realize it's the club I want to be at. If we don't score many goals because we're messing chances, his head's gonna like, if that was me. I guarantee we thinking if that was me. It happened to me even when I got poached by clubs when I was in my younger age, man. As well, like I'm not even joking. Like I'll be looking at another team that I did want to join. I was like, if that was me. Like, I wanted to leave Millwall Academy. I wanted to leave Millwall Academy. I remember, bro, I was serious as a little youngster, bro. I'm not even joking. Like when I was 12 years old, I remember Aston Villa, and they were rumoring that they wanted me from the academy, but my dad wasn't willing to obviously go. My dad's club is Millwall, but I was looking at the team, was so sick, man. Their academy was so sick. And then I was looking at that, like, that was me, bro. Yeah, Premier League and that. Like, you think that's just the way it's just the way you think naturally as a human being.
That's how you think. Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. So that took so long. We're going to preview the game. We're going to get into the lineup. We are going to be reviewing the Brighton game at some point. Can you guys see the screen? Because it's taking me off now.
Yeah.
Cool. So, we are going to get into the Brighton review, but I don't want to get into it too much. For me, straight off the rip, I'm just going to say it's the same back four. I'll be honest with you guys. It
has to be. It has to be. It's a trusted. It's one game per week.
What, paying that for Spurs? For Spurs? Yeah.
Yeah. same back four. And you know, we'll talk about the Brighton game actually while we're previewing this game. That makes sense to me. Let's start with WAN-BISSAKA. Let's start with WAN-BISSAKA.
He was brilliant. I thought he was man at match. But in terms of, he was just brilliant, wasn't he? I mean, I was seeing him taking 2-3 players on. Like, he was good on the ball. He was nimble. He was like, he had Matoma on lock. He was just, yeah, man. Do you know what? He was a breath of fresh air that game, and the rest of them were suffocating me. But him and Lindelof, great games, man. Great games. And do you know what? I'll be honest, right? That game, I don't want to get carried away because it is only one game, but I'm really starting to like WAN-BISSAKA, you know.
I suppose section goes beyond in it, but I've been running this prop for a minute, man. And it's this whole myth about what about the back? Like even yesterday, I had an argument with a United fan, even or something like that. But what about the back post? I'm like, go find me a video of when we can see the goals where WAN-BISSAKA got caught lacking at the back post. Because if anything, he's been clearing a lot of the back post stuff. If I'm being honest.
So the Barcelona game as well, Cass, right?
Yeah.
Because they were hitting that switch, people got triggered, PTSD. And what I was saying in that game was, WAN-BISSAKA didn't give Barcelona what they wanted. What they wanted was for him to chase the switch and leave Gavi free, so Gavi gets him behind Varane. Because Gavi was narrow. It was the fullback that would go for the switch, or Lewandowski would go into that space and then Gavi would get the switch. But every time the switch was hit, WAN-BISSAKA defended it. So that week, and by the way, the weakness only pops up for 3-4 games a season anyway. It's overstated, if I'm being honest with you.
No, it is, Daniel. If he could play like he did yesterday, like.
I think he has been though, Johnny. Though
no, he's been playing like that for a minute.
So no, but like no, I thought he was different yesterday. I thought he took it up another level yesterday.
You've just not been watching him.
No, I have.
Yeah, go watch him against Everton as well and Brentford.
Listen,
ridiculous, bro.
If he can perform like that on a consistent basis, I'm going to go out and say I think he could be in the title when it's starting right back. I do.
I've been saying this for months, man. I've been telling people.
All right,
this.
Let's not go too far.
I can't believe I'm saying that though. Like because last year I had him written off.
Yeah, but he's having his purple patch at the moment, and it's about can he do it consistently? And I can't lie. I think as a second option, I can't lie. Maybe not as a first option, but as a second option, especially when we want to do build up and definitely want to attack the teams like the bigger sides. I can't lie. A guy to just shut up shop sometimes. That he looks like he's shown he can come off without having 2 games, come on and still play the exact same, even in a team like this. He's going to be very crucial. He's like Fred a little bit. He shouldn't be starting, but as a squad player, imagine bringing on them 2 sharp shot. Mate, it's a long day.
WAN-BISSAKA is the only defender that I know of that is criticised for being too defensive. What are we talking about here?
But that's the way the game's going. And
but that's like the Gea though.
I know.
In the same respect, it's like the Gea. How can I go
with number 2 option?
Daniel.
And why? Hold on, Jimmy. But that's why it's a good number 2 option, and why you want a fullback in build-up play, in possession, who can play inverted or be elite in the final third. Because neither Dalot or WAN-BISSAKA are ever going to be elite in the final third. Man United fans need to accept that. But they are useful in other roles and elsewhere on the pitch. And I want to get
my opinion.
I want to get to Dalot next, Jimmy, just because before it was the Sevilla game, Malacia was having a stinker, and I was looking at that thinking Dalot can play left back, and it'd been a minute since I even had that thought about that, and I put it out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'd sell Malacia if Ten Hag wants a new right back. Don't sell Dalot. Don't sell WAN-BISSAKA. Sell Malacia.
That's what I was going to say, Danny. I was like, bro,
he ain't going to do that.
Dalot is much better left back than he is a right back for me. And from what I've seen, he looks more comfortable as well. I don't know why. Sometimes it just works that way. As Piliqueta, another one, maybe he could do the job at right back. But he does the job so much better.
Danny explained this before. Danny, you explained it to me why Dalot plays better as a left back than he does as a right back. You gave me a technical explanation, but I can't remember. Do you remember your explanation?
It's more so, okay, so in the final third, he's just not elite. Simple as that. But in the middle third, I noticed left foot, right foot, his switches of play are excellent. Yeah. Under pressure, he's really, really good. When he's in that left centre middle, right central midfield sort of position, he's pretty effective, winning second balls. And then he's got, unlike WAN-BISSAKA, no disrespect to him, I think WAN-BISSAKA is pretty good defensive to middle third. Defensively, and he can carry the ball well, and I think he times his run better than Dalot in the final third. But Dalot's vision, composure, decision making from that middle third That's what will make him a good inverted fullback, in my opinion. And he's got the energy to get up and down better than Luke Shaw, although we know Luke Shaw is going to be the number one. And I'm going to segue quickly into Luke Shaw as well, because I thought Luke Shaw was also man of the match candidate as well.
He was, yeah,
excellent
definitely.
in the Brighton game.
Definitely.
Go to you, Johnny. What was your thoughts on Luke Shaw's performance against Brighton?
I'll be honest, I wasn't really focused on Luke Shaw. He kind of went under my radar. So I can't really speak on him much. I was more mesmerised by WAN-BISSAKA, to be honest, and I was more disenchanted with the whole game. I didn't enjoy the game. I thought it was a shit game to watch. I didn't enjoy it. When a game's shit to watch, I get pissed off.
That wasn't a shit game to watch. What are you talking
about? For me, it was. I didn't enjoy that Brighton game.
Why? Because it was a good tactical battle. Is that why?
If that's what you, if that's how you want to label it, for me, I thought it was shit. Didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you want to be entertained. That wasn't an entertaining game in that aspect. For the average viewer or the wherever it wasn't, because it's it's for me, Danny, as well. It was the decision making in our final third, like Anthony squaring it to Bruno pointing it back post. It's those little things that could kill off the game. And Rashford shooting. I'm like, bro, Sabitzer was right there. Just lift your damn head up, bro. This is what I mean with Rashford. He doesn't lift his head up enough, and that's my only criticism.
If it attack that space, they better tap in.
Bro, he didn't. He's 1v1. Sometimes I'm thinking his 1v1s are so regressive. I'm thinking, bruv, is he better just sticking him up front? Sometimes just put him up front. He looks like he's more comfortable back as a 9 again.
I've already told people the way the team is constructed at the moment, Rashford's definitely better up front than he's on the left, in my opinion. Let's go to Lindelof, because
cold, bro.
I have to be honest.
Cold.
I'm not a big fan of Victor Lindelof or the old Lindelof. I'm going to be blunt. I preferred Maguire over Lindelof 1920 and 2021. And the reason I preferred Maguire over Lindelof is because I don't care if you're getting embarrassed whenever you get embarrassed and someone clips you up into. I don't care. I like my centre-backs to be shameless, aggressive and proactive. Do some defending, right? Lindelof, for me, was somebody who was passive. He'd avoid getting into critical situations, retreat, and hope for the best. And nobody would notice him while Maguire's looking busy doing the good work, but also getting caught out, so he's getting clipped up. This Victor Lindelof that I've seen this season, this Lindelof is clear of Maguire. He's clear because he's aggressive and proactive. I've always thought he was good at reading the game, good positionally. I just felt
he was passive.
I felt like he made his decisions to avoid doing critical defending. That was my biggest problem with him. But when he's got this type of mindset, he's absolutely clear of Maguire. Easily should be first choice for third place centre-back. And also,
he's working smart.
And also, if you look at his sample size, even compared to Lisandro Martinez and Varane, who I know have played more games, even Maguire as well, he's actually been our most consistent centre-back this season, in my opinion.
They're a good pair.
What's your thoughts on Lindelof, that performance and sort of his future at Man United, Jimmy?
Lindelof, I was very, very happy with. I mean, I didn't watch the whole match. I missed quite a few chunks of the match just because it was my birthday and there was people everywhere. So I was just all over the place. But Lindelof, it keeps surprising me at the moment. So I think he's working smarter. He's learned this thing that he couldn't do before, where to compensate for his flaws as a defender, which is he's not quick enough to get to the dangerous players. What he started doing, which he never did before, is he started to understand dangerous zones. So he's marking a lot of zones now rather than always trying to be one-to-one with the player. So he's working a whole lot smarter than he did before. He never did this before. And in this match, every time I saw him, he was doing that. So he's not having to do so much physical work one-on-one with players because he's covering
He's already there.
He's already there. So
he's being proactive.
Absolutely. He's been very, very proactive, and he never did that before. I'm really, really impressed with that because I think that separates the good from the good defenders to really good defenders. Because the really good defender, Rio Ferdinand, was never. Vidic was the attacker. He would go one-to-one with players all the time. But Rio Ferdinand didn't have to, because all he did was he understood his zones, the danger zones, and he closed them. So he's always proactive, and that's what made him a great defender, because he didn't have to do dog work for 90 minutes. He only had to do it when he had to do it. But otherwise, if you're marking those zones, and you're good. You don't have to do so much work. So very, very impressed. Luke Shaw, really impressive. Again, this guy looks more comfortable there than he does in his normal position at left back. Again, I never ever would have expected this to be the case with Luke Shaw. But again, when I'm looking at the game, the parts that I've watched, I'm seeing a pretty similar thing in the sense that, so if you think about the pitch, when Luke Shaw has to cover the whole length of the left-hand side plus that B area of the pitch, which is his side, it's almost as if there's too much space for him to think about. When he has to only think about that circular area on the left-hand side at centre-back, it's like, because he doesn't have to think about such a big space, he's being more efficient, more effective. So he's not making many mistakes when he's playing in that position. So again, it's not people who say, oh, he's lazy. I don't think it's because he's lazy. I think it's just his brain, his intelligence capacity allows him to be really, really good in that little circle than it does for him to cover the whole length of the pitch. Because I think he loses interest when he's having to cover the whole length of the pitch, whereas when he's covering just that centre-back area on the left, he seems to be more focused. So to me, he looks way more comfortable there than anywhere else on the pitch. So I was very, very happy with his performance as well.
I'd agree. Cass, what was your thoughts on Lindelof's performance against Brighton?
No, it's the pinnacle of his career at the moment. I'll be honest. Like, let's be honest. Like the ice cold penalty, I think he banged in free kicks and all that kind of stuff. He looked comfortable, man, doing it. Top bins as well. There was ice cold in the veins, and I think we kind of showed a little bit. Him and Shaw work very well together. I saw in that line who was controlling it was Lindelof again. I've noticed this even when I was watching, even when I've been at Man United a couple times this season. Like, he's been the one that's been talking. I'm like, wait, Lindelof, he's usually not saying nothing. This is the weird one. Maguire barks orders, but no one listens. Lindelof was telling WAN-BISSAKA where to go, telling Shaw where to be as well. I think there's something interesting here as well. I would honestly look to move on Malacia. Definitely, 100%. I can't lie. Like, sometimes it works and works out. We can definitely get a fee for him. But I just don't think it's going to work out. I don't like Malacia when we go into attacking phase. And even when we got the squad, I just don't see what he can do that can benefit us other than playing in the inside. I think I need a little bit more. I think we can turn. I don't think we might not even need another centre-back with this idea.
Scathing, man.
You put Luke Shaw at centre-back as another cover. And sometimes you can play left-back if need be. Go put Alvaro Fernandez. Yeah, I know he's young. But this guy's 6'1" as well. He's good and he's got everything you need in a fullback today. Everything. Technical, tall, strong. He's decently quite fast and he's got a major whip. And that boy can shoot. Trust me, that boy can shoot. And I'm thinking like he could sort itself out. Or go sell the low, put Alvaro in the left and then go get another right back since we're linked with so many right backs. If that's the case, if you don't want WAN-BISSAKA, I'll keep WAN-BISSAKA and then sell the low. Whichever way you want to go about it, we don't know. This is me thinking of what Ten Hag does. We ain't linked with left backs. Right, we linked with right backs, and there's no like.
I just think it's too early for Alvaro. So I get.
I hear it, but I just think, bro, you know when the play, I hear it. You can say, put him on loan to a Premier League club or a top club at that, like a top side. But if anyone's watched Preston this year, yeah, and the way he plays, even the way the Preston, even rivals of Championship, even my dad, bro. Even my own dad, fam, and he don't take notice of nobody else's plays. He's even said their left back is serious. Like, he didn't say like that, but he said he's very, very good. He's a standout. Bro, Alvaro is 20 years old and just ready. He's just ready. Like, for me, and it doesn't mean he's starting left back either. Like, you could actually have the low. If you want to play inverted, Rashford out wide, either way, maybe use the low as the left back instead. Or maybe put Shaw to start off as the left back and then Alvaro can ease his way in before making, like, just kind of pinning out Shaw. Like, he's got a 3-year deal, I believe. Just pinning him out a little bit, slowly easing him out. You're going to be second choice potentially if you don't impress Ten Hag. We might be able to solve that way, meaning we can actually focus on areas that are key: centre mid, striker. Then we can a goalkeeper. We can start looking at other areas. But I think it can sort itself out. We just don't know it. Like, Ten Hag's going to be working with youngsters. Prove it.
But one thing I'm 100% like with you on is just we can raise some money from selling Malacia. And for me, Dalot at left back,
I think so. We can command 25 million for Malacia, in my opinion.
Dalot at left back is going to be more of an asset than the Malacia.
Yeah, because it's just the way he's comfortable in possession. For me, it's the way when he goes inverted, like you said, vision, left foot, right foot. He looks so comfortable on the left. And when you
So
think, I think
comfortable.
there's better left wingers in this world than our right wingers as well. When he comes up against the right players as well, because they all want to come on inside their left foot. Delo's already right-footed. You might struggle against the Sakas in the world. Who doesn't? But the other one is mainly, if they're left-footed on the right, they're always typically one-footed. It might help him out in the battle. That's all. That's what I think.
Maybe. I want to move on to Casemiro next. Tottenham's a big game, so Casemiro is going to start. But he struggled against Brighton. That's 3 games on the bounce. Casemiro's been one of our worst performers. I'll go to you first on this, Johnny. Are you worried about Casemiro's form?
No.
Sorry, you've gone quiet there.
The Glazers got him.
Can you hear me?
The Glazers got him.
Yeah,
we can hear.
I just don't think. I think he's been out for several games with the red card. I think he had an injury too. I just think it's match sharpness, and that's it. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. We've had a big sample size this season of what Casemiro can do, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when he first came, hit the ground running. Pretty much, he's been one of our most consistent performers in the Premier League. So all the United fans saying he can't hack the tempo. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know, fucking shut your mouth. No, I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm talking about. Don't need to say no names.
I don't, but
what's the opposite of down?
I feel like I do. Some way down the line, I feel like I already know who he is. Johnny's like rival on Twitter, innit?
Yeah. You see, you've twigged on already, Cass. People coming through last night.
I've heard whispers. I've heard a few things. But like, do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. Anyone who's getting onto Casemiro is because they wanted a technical Rodri, Frankie de Jong style type of 6. And because Casemiro, even when he was playing well, right, he weren't great on the ball. Showed some quality, but like he'd be erratic with his passing accuracy, etc., etc. And the 1 or 2 times he's been dribbled past, there are people trying to act like, no, he's always been getting dribbled past 5-6 times a game. So
Daniel, I was reading.
Cut the nonsense. Do you know what it is with Man United fans? Yeah, just you have your personal preference, and all you do is you wait for a player to go through bad form, so you can use that personal preference against that player. That's all.
I was reading last night that apparently can't hack the tempo in the Premier League. I mean, have you missed like the meat of this season, the big chunk of the season where he's been brilliant? He's brilliant.
He's a rhythm player, man.
I don't understand that. People have got to factor in. He's had a lot of games out through a red card. Yeah. Did he have an injury too recently?
No.
Was he injured? All right, so just the red card. All right, but yeah, he's had quite a lot of games out through red cards and suspensions, right? So I genuinely think it's just match rhythm and match sharpness. I'm not worried about him at all. Like, I feel like people are really reaching there at that. He's arguably I think him and Martinez are probably the last 2 players I'm concerned about right now. But no, I'm not concerned, Daniel, to answer your question with Casemiro. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll have a pre-season like everyone else. He'll come back sharp, ready to go again, and I've got no qualms with that.
I agree with you on that, Jimmy. I'm gonna put you. You're Ten Hag now, Jimmy. You're not picking. You have to choose between Eriksen and Fred. Yeah, I'm putting you in that position. You have to pick between those 2. What did you think of Eriksen's performance against Brighton as the first question? The second question is against Tottenham. You have to pick one, Fred or Eriksen. Who are you playing with?
Fred.
Oh, do you know what? I would have to say Fred as well, because there was something missing in Eriksen. I couldn't really put my finger on it technically. I don't think it was that. No, I thought that, but then I'm looking at him, and he didn't look sluggish. He just didn't look like he knew what to do in the match at all, at any point. It wasn't a match sharpness thing for me. It looked almost like he was a little bit overwhelmed by how aggressive the game was.
Mm.
That's how it felt to me. So it was a strange one to watch, and I thought you get into it, and it just didn't happen for him at all. So I'm really worried playing Eriksen in any games that we obviously should win. You know.
Jimmy, did you notice the Thursday play yesterday? Like he started to look. I'm not joking. I looked at him and I thought he's starting to show his age. Like, started to look slow.
No, do you know what? He didn't look that slow to me. But the reason I'm saying Fred is because, for me, Fred even though it's a bit 50-50 with him, because you would either get really, really good Fred or you get really bad Fred.
Yeah.
But if you get really good Fred, he's much, much better than, a really good Eriksen. For me, personally, I think a really good Fred is better than even a really good Eriksen on his day. So I would rather see Fred, because I think there's more chance of seeing a good Fred than there is of seeing a good Eriksen in that Spurs game. I just don't think Eriksen will perform.
Thing is, though, Jimmy, have you noticed this season, impact Fred is better than starting Fred?
Not really.
Oh yeah, I think his impact this season coming off the bench has been really, really good.
When he made
At the start of the season, yeah.
When he made his biggest impact, he was starting, and at the start of the season, coming on as a sub, he was terrible. So
can we highlight one thing? Yeah, I think let's just revive it. I don't think Bruno's actually injured. Who was recently on crutches, but they didn't actually they just didn't want to put no pressure on the ankle. Basically, it's just a swollen ankle.
Do you disagree with anything that Jimmy said, Cass, or would you have Fred in there against?
No, I'm starting Fred because last time, again, watching it live as well at Old Trafford, we started with Fred and Casemiro and Bruno in the middle, and we killed them, killed them. And now they got no Bentancur and everything. Bro, we should overwhelm them with intensity. They can't handle it, can't hack it, go in long because they have to, because they got no choice. We need to suffocate them. We play Sancho, Rashford through the middle that game, and Anthony. Anthony's gonna have another great game. He's gonna have another great game, in my opinion. This time we got Martial as well. They're gonna have to play their Fred at the back.
At this point, sorry, go on, Cass.
I'm just saying with Fred, Cass, it's so evident. When it's away from home, do not start Eriksen. Anything away from Old Trafford, do not start him. Just start him at home games when we know we're going to control the tempo.
That's the
games
point.
We struggle.
That's the point.
Casemiro, clearly we're a lot worse. Casemiro needs help as well. Fred and Casemiro got a great partnership, man. They understand what's good. Fred understands his role, and he knows behind him he's got Casemiro and the Bruno Fernandes potentially just to do some running for him as well. He doesn't have to do all the legwork himself. This is why I just say, in a game like this, start Fred, man. Look, we've had this period. Scott McTominay, purple patch, then went Fred, purple patch. Scott McTominay came in before he got injured, had a little purple patch. Brentford, Everton. Now it's Fred looking like he's coming back into his purple patch form. Just use it while we can and ride through it, because we've got another game on the weekend. I think it's against Aston Villa. So, go again. That's what I say. Use Fred for what he is, man. If he's playing good right now, and he's easily as clear as day, when he came on against Brighton were forcing mistakes. How many times do Brighton force mistakes? All they ever do is bring so many people back for their build-up play, but there's nothing going forward, and we suffocate it, limiting chances. And yeah, man, Fred deserves to start, man, especially away from home. He's a big game player, bro.
I think that's
he is. Fred is a big game player. You're not lying.
Listen, you said big game player. Yeah, who's calling Anthony a flop now? Yeah.
We were talking about this 3 weeks ago.
Anthony is a big game player. He proved that the moment he came in against Arsenal. He proved it the last time he played Tottenham, and he proved it against Chelsea. He's proved it against City. He's a big game player, and he looks physically fit. He looks physically stronger.
He does. He does.
Has been at any part of the season, and you see him getting that separation from people when he's taking people on. And he finds it a lot easier to come in amongst bodies. He's not scared of the physical contact anymore. He's a lot more composed.
So Bruno's on crutches apparently.
He got a swell. His ankle blew up. His ankle blew up, but it blew up. He's icing it today. But the thing is, if he was injured, Man United wouldn't allow his wife to post that before Man United tell any news on it. I think people don't look into this kind of stuff. It's Man United's responsibility. If it's nothing to worry about, trust me, his wife would do it. She wouldn't even post it, bro. If it wasn't a worry, because people will know that he left in crutches. Probably why she posted a picture and say, "Don't worry, he's just conditioning his foot. He will play. His recovery is mental."
Yeah,
but even if he doesn't play, he will come. He will be on that bench. And
how is that? How is it that his recovery is like? Because he just recovers.
Because some people are just like that. Some people, people's bodies are just built differently. Like me, see, when I went through my hammy injury, I was meant to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. My body recovered in a week and a half, 2 weeks, mate. I was good to go. I'll play on it and I'll still be fine. I wouldn't pull it up. Some people's just bodies are just like that. To be fair. Where if it was someone like Marcel, it would take an extra week.
Yeah.
I leave my boy alone.
No, he's taking a piss with these injuries.
Right. Man. So, I think our front line was pretty poor against Brighton. If they were more clinical, I actually think we win that game pretty comfortably.
Yeah,
I know
of
everybody
course.
was impressed.
Rashford weren't sharp, but he got 120 minutes in his belt. Is he going to be a bit knackered? Do you reckon?
This is what I was going to come to. Who are you guys playing? I'll go to you on this, Cass. You playing Rashford or Sancho left wing against Tottenham?
I would have said because Rashford looked knackered, but the fact he got 120 minutes on his belt and he didn't pull up and he still didn't look like he still looked like he was having the same game from minute one. Rashford is your goal scorer. It was clearly to see that he was there. He probably against Tottenham. He loves a goal against a big club as well. We talk about big game players. It's time to kill off this top four.
Well, Spurs are a big club now.
No. But don't get me wrong. I don't want to underestimate them. At the same time, because they probably drew a win. They probably drew a win. Sancho he had a great game against Spurs, if anyone remembers as well. I think he would like playing against Porro because Porro needs a lot of space in behind as well. And then who they got to cover? Davinson Sanchez. I'm having Rashford, man. I don't want to say it, but now we're going up to one game with Rashford. He wants to play games. We want to go, get that goal early, put down their heads, kill them off early, man, and go from there, man. We need to start killing teams off ASAP.
Yeah.
Especially suffocating. We're talking about suffocating them.
Yeah, I can't take any more stinky Rashford, man. I'm sorry, I can't. I thought when Sancho came on, I thought Sancho played decent. To be fair, not scintillating. I thought he was decent when he came on. I'm going to try and capitalise on that, and he'll gain confidence from that absolute sensational fucking penalty. Excuse my language. Sensational fucking penalty. I'll say that again. He'll get to take confidence from that, and I will try and capitalise on that and put him in.
But you don't even think, Johnny, though, Rashford's shit Rashford is basically equating Sancho's good performances anyways in the game.
No, he's not. Rashford was a 0 over there.
Yeah, but we ain't got no goal. But that's his. Don't get me wrong. He had 20 minutes against Sevilla, and then he just had a full 120 minutes. I'm thinking, like, bro, come on, man. In behind,
if you're gonna put,
Spurs don't want it.
Look, I wouldn't be against Rashford central and Martial off the wing because Martial's good off the wing. I wouldn't be against that. But if we're going to talk about the wing, I'm starting Sancho personally.
Interchanging them two for me is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I agree.
I don't mind. I don't mind either way, to be honest.
They won't play that poor against.
Jimmy, don't sit on the fence. Don't try that. Don't.
No. What I mean is no, Daniel. I mean tactically. I'm not saying preference wise. I'm just saying tactically. For me, I don't think that it changes your game too much. Interchanging them on that left hand side. I really don't.
But on the left against Tottenham, big game. This will end their top 4. I know there's like maybe 8 games to go.
That's what I was saying, man. End it.
Are you going Sancho? Are you going Johnny because he's sick of he's got an excuse to take Rashford out of the team? So you're gonna take Rashford out of the team. Are you gonna take? I mean, look at Cass's argument, by the way. Pedro Porro, yeah, Pedro Porro. Am I pronouncing that right?
Porro.
It doesn't sound like it.
It's Porro.
Is that how you say Porro in Portuguese? No. All right, Mrs. ain't listening.
It's just Porro.
Is it Porro? Is that how you say his name?
Porro.
He's terrible, right? So Jimmy, Sancho, Rashford against Pedro Porro. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna start Sancho just because I do think Rashford.
Come on, Jimmy, good lad.
I have a backup argument
I'll start
as well.
Sancho.
I have a backup.
And you know what? But you know what? Because I think Rashford would absolutely enjoy coming on in the second half. He would properly love that. So I would start Sancho.
I wouldn't. No, man. I can't personally see. I just don't want to see it happening, man. I don't know, man. I want 2 goal scorers. I want 2 goal scorers on the pitch, not 1. What my argument would be?
But Rashford's not scoring at the minute.
Yeah, because he's just come back. Is Sancho scoring at the minute?
Comeback tax. Get out of here.
Wait. When's the last time Sancho scored? Oh wait.
No, but we don't really expect him to score. So you're right in that sense that you want 2 goal scorers on the pitch. But for me, just tactically, I think Sancho will be just as effective as Rashford in this match.
I was having a whole conversation. Yeah. Say his name properly.
Pedro Porro.
Yeah. Come on.
That sounds Portuguese.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Porro. I like it.
Terrible. Your boy is terrible. Sorry, guys. Carry on.
Yeah, I was gonna say what I want to focus on is the tactical aspect of it all. Yeah, this is the one game we can go away to a big 6 side and expect to dominate. without Sancho as well. So you add Sancho, we're going to dominate the game with or without Sancho, regardless, in my opinion. They play 2 in the midfield. Even if they play 3, they're barely kicking. Skip, Højbjerg, not ball retentive players you can get out and press, right? So we're probably more than likely going to control that game from start to finish, if I'm being totally honest, the way Newcastle did. So, and the one thing they're going to want to do is counter break on us. Why would I want to add another controller in left wing when I want a goal scorer? If someone's going to run in behind and kill them when we need to kill them. So when they get excited and go forward, who's one person I want on the break? Rashford and Martial, to be fair.
I mean, it sounds lovely in theory. It sounds lovely in theory, Cass.
Yeah, but you say theory, but we had the theory that having Sancho, Martial,
No, but listen,
Sancho,
look
Martial, and
at
Anthony, we was going to control games a lot better and play better football. But that hasn't happened, is it?
Cass, look at all the comments. Everyone's agreeing with me. Bring Rashford on in the second half, man.
Like, Rashford's not really that good at coming off the bench, if I'm being honest. He done it against.
But he's not been good. But Cass hasn't been good at starting. Is it like he's been stinky?
Yes, he has. He scored 27, like 30 goals, bro, this season from starting positions.
No. Cass, now you're talking about the season. Last few games has been shit, man.
Yeah, but so is Sancho. And this is his chance. He's played. Sancho has played a decent. Sancho hasn't. Look, I want Sancho to succeed. I'm a South London man. Of course, I'm going to big up my man. That's why I like players like Emil Smith-Rowe, because they come from my block. But anyways, it's not the point. The point is, Sancho has not even given a 7 or 8 out of 10 this season, bro. Why would I want a 6 when I can get a potential 9 or 10 out of 10? Yeah, yes, Rashford might drop a 3 out of 6 or 3, 4, 5, but that equivalent to Sancho's 7 out of 10 games or 6 out of 10. Because Rashford can.
No, you know what?
In moments,
Kaz,
if Tottenham are this bad, if Tottenham are as bad as we expect them to be, and they leak so many goals, what's Sancho going to do compared to Rashford when we need a goal?
You say compared to Rashford, like he's not Vinny Junior, you know, he's not Mbappe. Like compared to that, what are we doing here?
What do you mean? They're not that far apart in age.
Sancho, listen.
That's the only thing that's close.
Sancho will be fine starting. He'll be absolutely.
Your agenda slinks, Johnny, man. I saw what you said.
So you think Rashford's? You think Rashford's anywhere near?
Nah, Johnny. You know what it is?
What? I didn't say that.
Johnny's been waiting to crash it on Rashford for his poor performances.
I know you can see his smirk, bro. After he's saying Bruno wasn't even that good yesterday, it's like, what is the best player?
Bagging goals, Johnny was like, but his performance. He's been bagging goals. He's been scoring, so I can't take that away from him.
But you know what is though? Do you know what is though, Devils? Yeah, as well. At the same time, what do we know about Ten Hag? He plays his favourites regardless.
No, I'm not having that.
He's gonna play. He's starting. He isn't dropping it.
No, this is about what you guys would.
What I want. I want my 20. I want my. How many goals he got this season?
26, 27 or something like
27, 28. I want my 27, 28 to go there and just go get me what he does best. Go get a goal for me. Because I don't care what you do with the other percentage of the.
You know what it is, yeah?
I don't really care. Bring him off then.
Do you know what it is? So I'm going to, Rachel, if you're still watching, I'm going to let you pick, Rachel, if you're still there. Let me know in the comments who you're picking. Because I'm going to go with Rashford. So we're at a tie. Cass is going for Rashford. I'm going for Rashford. Jimmy and Johnny are going for Sancho. And the reason why I'm going for Rashford is very, very simple. It's a big game. Tottenham are vulnerable. We're probably going to press, have space to go in behind, probably going to dominate. Who's going to get me the big goal to kill the game off?
Just one more point.
Wait. On top of that, I love it how people have long memories for Rashford's poor performances and short memories for Jadon Sancho's. Jadon Sancho's previous performance was poor. He comes on against Brighton when they're tired and he looks good. And I've said this, I expect Jadon Sancho from now to the end of the season to be inconsistent. We're going to get good games. We're going to get bad games. But for you guys to use Rashford's latest performance to try and convince us
sample size.
In a big game
one sec.
In a big game.
So wait. By that logic as
well.
Wait.
Cass, wait there.
I want you to add. I want to add it. I want to add it to you, Johnny. I want to add it to you for your thing.
That's agenda driven.
Because Casemiro has been poor since he's come back from red cards. So should we also drop him?
No, but I'll never point on to mention. And I listen. We've got to talk about Martial because I didn't think he was good in the last game, and I love Martial, but it's not fair to go at Rashford.
He wasn't bad. He just didn't get yellow carded.
No. Listen, for what I expect of Martial, he was nowhere near that. What we know Martial's capable of is nowhere near that. He was poor, man. I didn't think he was working hard enough neither. A little bit of hold-up play, that was about it. That was probably his only saving grace. Other than that,
Rachel has decided, so I'm putting Rashford in
Oh,
there.
Rachel, fuck you, man.
I appreciate
Fuck
Johnny's
you,
attempt
man.
to bring. You see Johnny's little. Let me be balanced. So going in a Marshall, everyone knows I love him. Nice try,
Johnny's so agenda
Nice try.
driven, man.
I like
Nice
it when
try.
Rashford and Marcel play together as well. They got good chemistry. Bruno, if he is to be fit and Dean fit, them three
Yeah,
together
good chemistry
play
for about 5 years.
I'll
Yeah,
be
exactly.
honest,
But and how many times
you know
have we
what?
seen them per season, man? When they're both more
I'm
fit,
gonna
not when
change it.
someone's returned and all that stuff.
I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go for this game. This is this is what we've agreed upon.
I think Sancho goes. I mean, I think Rashford's
With
going to go down the
Rachel-
middle.
Daniel, can I just say, people in the comments are saying, why are you deciding on that player, not that player? We're not deciding who's the better player here. We're just deciding who we want to start for this match.
Let them cry.
Right.
Let them cry.
So-
Wait, Daniel,
so-
wait. Daniel, I don't think it's right to, like, if you're not on panel, why do you get a vote?
Because Rachel is on honorary member.
I was going to say this as well, Devils. Yeah, I was going to say I think he puts Rashford down the middle and plays exactly the same, pretty much not the same, obviously, because we've got no centre backs. Exactly that same front three because he overplayed Martial.
Mm-hmm.
He's overplayed him.
Yeah, because basically he said it even if you listen to his press conferences and stuff like that, he never intended for Martial to play as much minutes as he did. He didn't want him to break him down. That's why he took
only
him off
done
as
it
soon as
because
possible.
It's only because Rashford got injured.
Basically, I think Martial does come on the game, and whoever's the worst out of those front threes coming off.
I agree with that. And by the way, this is Man United, like on facts, not opinions, nothing subjective. Our best performances this season have come with this front three, by the way. So I'm going to end it on that note. If you didn't smash the like button during the stream, you should have. Now's your last opportunity. Thank you to everybody that's been in the comments, shared the video, etc., etc. You can see our socials apart from Jimmy's. Jimmy's Twitter handle is @JStarCity, so make sure you go follow Jimmy. Follow Johnny at your peril. I've muted him because he's just been muted.
Oh, no, you cannot listen. Daniel, you can unmute me again. I'll behave.
Have you actually muted him?
Yeah, I'll tell you off stream.
Is that what Steam?
I muted him. I came off mute for 10 minutes. And within that 10 minutes, he did something. I was just like, this is why I've muted him. And I'll say that.
Oh, come on, Dale. We need to have a conversation after. Come on. Hey, big up everyone. Like and subscribe. Smash the like button.
Cass's handle there. Go follow Cass on Twitter. Never a foul. Cass is a bit of a YouTube host, so you'll catch him on like 20 platforms because he's just there. He's a
YouTube
host. I'm not, man. I'm humble, man. It would be nice to see more Man United fans. To be fair, there's quite a few. To be fair, I'm never a foul, but it'd be nice to see some overwhelms.
Just for people that don't follow me, my handle is @JStarCity, JSTAR City, one word.
And it's in the description for the video as well if you want to go follow Jimmy. Jimmy every Friday, I believe, does Uncle Jimmy Takes.
I do Uncle Jimmy Takes, so
on Twitter.
It could be about anything, about life, about football, just about anything. So yeah, follow me, man. Yeah, come through.
Shout out to Wasim, did Danny mute Johnny for food pics? That's one of the reasons as well. But listen, it's been a good stream. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back again, same time.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, good night, man. Good night.
Take care. Peace.